My name is Janet Guerke, and what brought me to Tift Regional was my primary care internist, Dr. Steve Rigdon, referred me for an annual mammogram. My experience at the Women's Imaging Center at Tift Regional was just absolutely fantastic. It started out with a young lady by the name of Darby who came out, introduced herself, and took me back to the examining room. And what I appreciated about her is that I didn't have to wait very long. While in the examining room, she took the time to explain to me exactly what would be going on during the exam, and also she took the time to answer the question that I had, which was, what's the difference between a regular mammogram and a 3D mammogram? Because that was something that I definitely was interested in knowing more about. But she was just great in just making me feel very, very comfortable, and I really do appreciate the fact that she explained things so well to me, and that made me extra comfortable. After I finished the mammogram with Darby, I asked her if she had any written information about self-breast exams that I could take with me after I left the Women's Imaging program. And she asked me if I could just have a seat for a minute or two in the waiting room, and that she would get me that information. Well, she came out and got me, but instead of just handing me a brochure, she introduced me to a young woman by the name of Dawn Bennett. And Dawn took me in a private room, and she began explaining to me how to do a self-exam. And not only did she explain it to me, but over her clothes, she demonstrated to me the proper way to actually do it, which, you know, I thought was exceptional that she would even do that. And then to make sure I got it right, I asked her if I could demonstrate to her over my clothes so that I had the technique, you know, down pat, and that I would be sure when I went home, in the privacy of my home, that I would be sure that I got the proper technique down so that I could detect any suspicious lumps in my breast. What I appreciated about her is that she could have just handed me a piece of paper and just told me, you know, it's good to see you, you know, here it is, and, you know, but she didn't do that. You know, she took that extra time to actually demonstrate and actually had me do it on myself, so I knew that I really understood on how to do it properly. But one of the things that amazed me is I noticed she was so enthusiastic about her job. And I just remember thinking as I was looking at her, you know, I don't see too many people that are real enthusiastic about what they do. So I couldn't help but ask her. I said, Dawn, why are you so enthusiastic about your job? And she said, because I enjoy helping women. She said there are women that sometimes come in here that a mammogram has detected a suspicious mass, and I like that I can comfort them. I like also that I can show them about proper self-exams. And she said also I want to give credit to Dr. Johnson for teaching me about, you know, proper technique and about breast cancer. And so she said, that's the reason I'm so enthusiastic. And so when I left, I asked the lady at the front, I said, who is the administrator of Tift Regional? I said, because I would like to write him a letter on my experience here. The overall staff, you know, Darby and Dawn just made me, just by their smile and their voice, you know, and their demeanor, it just made me feel very comfortable as I entered that exam room. And I knew that I was in very confident hands and that they knew what they were doing, because they explained things so well and answered my questions that I had. I'm very grateful for the staff at Tift Regional Imaging Center. I'm doing this today to raise awareness of the importance of screening for breast cancer. 1 in 8 women in the United States of America will be diagnosed with an invasive form of breast cancer. And they've done research to prove that if you have a mammogram, then you improve your survival rate by as much as 25 to 35%. if it's detected early. And I read the other day that the best treatment is early treatment. So I encourage all the women that are listening to this today to take time for yourself and make an appointment at Tift Regional Women's Imaging Center. It's painless. It takes probably about 20 minutes to do it, and it might very well save your life. So please take that time to do it for yourself.